Good morning and welcome back. Today we have Suzanne Lawler from the American Red Cross joining us. Thank you for being here today.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming and letting me put all of this stuff on your desk.
We have a lot, but it is important because September is National Preparedness Month. So I want to talk about what is National Preparedness Month exactly?
Well, with the Red Cross, thank goodness we're seeing a lull in the Atlantic right now, but we are in the crux of hurricane season. So we really want you to be prepared at home. And in this lull, now is a good time to think about where am I going to go and how am I going to get there. So we have two kits that we want to talk about. One, first over on my side of the desk over here, this is going to be your 3-day evacuation kit.
Okay.
So this is going to have things like, of course, your clothes, personal toiletries, things like that. Right, of course. But we want to take it a step farther. You're going to have your cell phone chargers, but think about your CPAP chargers. Think about all of those chargers that you need to keep things going. Pets are part of the family. This is our pet's harness right here, and of course leashes. So you want to think about leashes, dog bowls, pet vaccinations, that kind of thing. And speaking of vaccinations,
you want the records.
You want the records.
It's important.
Now in our family, we have a bigger binder on this that we can just take and go with us. But this is where you want to keep all of your, house insurance, those kinds of things, documentation, pet vaccination records, so that you can just put all of this in your handy dandy bag. Of course, your bag might be a little bit bigger than this, and go. And one last tip right here, pictures of your pets, just in case you get separated from your pets, you want to have pictures.
And I do want to point out, you have a card there as well. Can we talk about that?
This is fantastic. Yes, we don't think of this. A lot of times during disasters, and especially hurricanes, we may be without cell phone service. And you don't know if those numbers are going to come back when you get your cell phone back. So always a great idea. I keep this in my truck. Of course, I have the numbers written down. This is just an example. People and their phone numbers.
Right.
I couldn't tell you all the people that I have and the people that I'm going to want to get in touch with, because it's important to reconnect with family.
And I think it is important, having those pictures, those numbers, make sure you have it. Of course, you can have a bigger bag, but this is going to be the on-the-go bag. And now this that we have right here is your home bag.
Yes, this is going to be...
What do we need here?
This is going to be a 2-week stay at home. Now, this is where and this is if you do not have to evacuate, but you still may be without power, water, and electricity. So, of course, we're going to think about the things on the end. You have the canned goods.
And you need the can opener.
You need the can opener. It's the thing that people forget, the can opener. And we have a couple of canned goods there. And I have to say, this is a lot of stuff that you're like, this is going to cost my family a lot of money. But when we go to the grocery store, we pick up a couple of canned goods. Just pick them up and we put it into our thing. Water, you want to go with a gallon of water per person per day.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's
you need a lot.
You need some water for your family because you think, scrubbing your teeth, kind of personal hygiene,
cooking, drinking,
cooking, exactly. So a gallon of water per person per day. Of course, you have your first aid kit
right here. Yep.
I want to talk about flashlights for a moment. One of those is solar powered and one of those is batteries. So you definitely want to stock up on your batteries. Solar powered flashlights are great. We recommend flashlights as opposed to candles because candles are a fire hazard.
That's a real thing. And I will say the solar power is nice because, you may get a few hours of sunlight, stick this outside, stick it near a window, you get it, and then when you're done, close this puppy and you're good to go.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, you have another one here as well.
I want to talk about medications very quickly over there. You want a 1-month supply of medications. You can talk to your doctor and just make sure that you have everything because when a disaster hits, your doctor's office may not be open. And why we're gathering these supplies is because stores may not be open.
And I do want to talk about this. I know it may seem like we are over preparing, but when these instances happen, you cannot be prepared enough because you may not have access to these resources for a week or longer. And that is a real possibility.
And I think it's really a thinking thing, because when a disaster happens or when a hurricane is right on us, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of apprehension, there's a lot of uneasiness. If you have these supplies, if you have food, water, flashlights, all of your important papers and a thing that you can use, it's a peace of mind.
And then I want to talk about the phone real quick. What do you have on there?
The Red Cross Emergency app. I am a big fan of this app. Of course, I'm with the Red Cross, but it is free wherever you get your apps. apps, and we've talked a lot about these things here.
It's an easy download.
It's an easy download, but what's great is there are modules on this app that tell you and give you checklists for everything that we've talked about. It also shows you where shelters are open in your area, and it has a toolkit that has an alarm. And of course, you want to have your emergency communications and your alerts. You can get it through the app, but you can also get it through 41 NBC.
Wow, I love having that. Make sure you have your stuff, like we said, words. Wow,
they'll come to you.
But September is National Preparedness Month, so this is the time to gather what you need. Make sure your family is ready. You got pictures of your loved ones, your pets. You have all the resources available. To find out more about this, head on over to our website, 41NBC.com.